Welcome to another Excel tutorial with Alter Altitudes. Today, I'm going to be teaching you a technique that I use to keep myself on target when I'm writing complex if statements. I was inspired to make this video today because I was in the process of doing an if statement to calculate FICA withholding from wages when the formula itself began to get so complex that I started to lose my place in the formula as I was typing it out. I ended up coming up with this technique that kept me on target throughout the entire formula and I didn't lose my place. And because of that, I decided to share that with you all today on this particular video. Let's pretend that everyone watching this understands how Social Security taxes are withheld. That fact is less important for this video as it is on how I stay on target. So I want you to come along with me while I walk through this formula and show you what I use whenever I'm embedding multiple if statements into one formula to make sure that I don't get lost. This is the technique that I use. So this is what I've done. I put the equals if, open parentheses, comma, comma, close parentheses. All I'm simply doing is I'm creating the boundaries for my entire if statement at the very beginning before I put any of the formulas in the middle. I'm going to take that same process with each and every if statement that's embedded within this formula to make sure that I never lose my place. Here's the other thing that does. If I click inside this formula, Excel is going to give me hyperlinks to jump to the section that I need. So if I want to go to the logical test that says, if this event is true or false, or if this event whatever, then do this. Then let's say I want to go and write the formula for if it's true or if it's false. I can do all of that within here. I'm going to keep this example relatively simple in comparison to the original formula that I was writing that was a lot more extensive. This is going to focus more on the technique of building your boundaries for each formula within your if statement. So we're going to say if the salary is less than or equal to this Social Security wage base, we're going to click onto value if true so we can automatically jump to our value if this is true. If this is true, we're going to multiply that value by the sum, open and close. And because this is going to be added together, we're just going to close this formula and then put the values in the middle of that, these two numbers. If this is not true, we're going to jump to the value if false. Then we're going to say if, open and close, jump to the middle, comma, comma. So now we've created the boundaries for our next if statement. We're going to go to the logical test. We're going to open this one with an and statement, open and close. That's all this video is about, is creating the boundaries of each formula so that you don't get lost. We're going to go inside the and formula and we're going to put a comma. We're putting the comma because I know I want two things to be true in order to carry out this if statement. Logical one, so I click there. If the salary is greater than that 160, 200, then I'm going to jump to logical 2. So if that salary is also less than this $200,000. From here, I click back out to this and I'm going to click onto value if true. So now I want to tell Excel what to do if this value is true. In this example, I want to multiply the Social Security wage base to the Social Security tax. And I also want to multiply the salary to the Medicare tax. And these two are going to be added together. So inside of this one, we're going to put the sum, open and close parentheses. And then inside of there, we're going to put a comma. Now, this is going to give me number 1 and number 2. And each number can be its own equation. So we're going to multiply this Social Security wage base times the Social Security tax. Jump to number 2. We're going to multiply the salary by the Medicare tax. And that's going to return a number. Now that we're there, we're going to jump to the value if false. Now, if the salary is over $200,000, we're going to do something different. There's 3 equations in this example that needs to happen if this value is false. And so I'm going to create the boundaries for that equation first and then the information in the middle. So open and close parentheses. We don't need another if statement because this is our last thing, okay? I'm going to put 2 commas because there's going to be 3 calculations. And I'm also going to put the word sum before those 2 parentheses. That way I can jump to number 1, number 2, or number 3. We're going to take our Social Security wage base and we're going to multiply that by the Social Security tax. In number 2, we're going to multiply our salary by the Medicare tax. And in formula number 3, we're going to subtract this $200,000 from the salary and then multiply that by this 0.9%. Now within this formula, because I want the subtraction to happen before the multiplication, I'm going to add 2 more parentheses. And then we're going to take the salary minus the additional Medicare base, go just outside that parentheses, and we're going to multiply that by this 0.9. Now, if I've done this correctly, which I think I did, because again, we set our boundaries in place, once I press enter, it should just return the result. Now we're going to make sure that this works. If I go up to $160,200, perfect, formula works, okay? So now we're going to go here and we're going to take that up to 200,000. Okay, again, formula still works. And now we're going to go up to 250,000. Perfect. The formula still works. Now, I created these formulas off to the side for me to make sure that as I was putting the formula in, it's comparing what should happen with what's happening in this cell. If you found this information useful or valuable, go ahead and give this video a like. Please comment below. Let me know any techniques that you use whenever you're building more complex formulas to keep yourself in position and on task. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you're notified anytime I release a new video. This has been Alter Altitudes, and remember, the only limits you have are the ones you put on yourself.